Well, hello once again. Sonia Barrett here. And today I'm going to talk about people in your past. Now, is it really necessary to go digging up people in your past? Now, for me, I tend to, it has to be a real drive, like something is like pushing me to go and look somebody up. There must be something there that I need to experience. That's really the bottom line of it. There's something I need to experience, something I so need to know. I need to bring into my reality at that moment. I need to bring it into my script. And there are people that obviously, you don't always think about that. You think, oh yeah, I wonder what happened to this person, and you go digging them up. And for me, yes, it includes everybody. It includes even relatives. Now, I'm not being harsh about it, but again, because we tend to live by some of these rules that are not written anywhere, but we just tend to live by some of these ideas. Um, I think that people are in your past for a reason. Now, the how I evaluate this is the fact that the people that you are dealing with right now, the people in your current space, your current reality, are people that obviously have a role in your story right now, in your script. They are relevant to your life right here, right now. That's any and everybody that you're in contact with, that are permanent fixtures in your life. And we just don't really think about the fact that they're only there, and that again, that includes relatives. They're only there because they do play a role. We play a role in each other's lives, and that role, the script that they have, is very relevant to your journey at this time. The people who are not there, they aren't there because there is no script for them at this time. And we also need to look at the fact that when we go dragging people in, if you're one of those people who just love to go digging people up and contacting them, and then you end up either mad at them, frustrated with them, or whatever issues come of it, we don't realize that people, when you dig up people, they can come with all their dramas. And since I like to keep the drama level low, like very very low, um I just don't feel a need to go digging up everybody, pulling them into my life right now. Now, if you also are one of those people that like to be distracted from yourself, from things that perhaps you need to evolve in your life, then this is perfect. Then it works. You pull people in, and then you have a story to tell about. If it's a relative, it's a story to tell about this person, how they're taking advantage of you, or they're doing whatever. It's always somebody doing something to you. Well, did you go find them? You already knew what this person was like, and you pull them back into your reality. And so things like that we need to examine. However, I always have to make this disclaimer. However, because in the end, everything you do is relevant to what you need right now. So if you do go pull them in, it's probably for some of the reasons that I mentioned. And that's something that you still need at this time. So then now you have to step back and look at, um, what are you getting from it? What is the payoff when you go and bring these people back in? How does it distract you? Do you end up playing the blame game? Those things you have to really examine, because they're going to tell you some things about what you perhaps do need to change within your own story, within your life, within your own script. Once we do that, then you will find that you don't bring in characters to play those roles. There's just no reason to. It's not even a thought. And we can also realize this by looking at the number of people that we have come in contact with over the course of our lives, and how many people you don't even remember that you used to know. You suddenly you realize, I wonder what happened to this person from like 20 years ago. And why does that happen? Because they're living a completely different reality than you are at this time. They're not even, they're just not relevant to your experience at this time. And so that's how you recognize, you realize how everybody that we're dealing with or interacting with does play a role in our current life experience. So now you have to question yourself, do I really need to go and keep digging people up? Do I do it because, I feel bad, I haven't talked to this person in a while, especially if it's family. I haven't talked to them in a while. But at the same time, there are things about that person, that the character then that person plays, that probably made me step back or not want to be a part of that. Now, and the other thing that you have to also look at is, are you still harboring ill feelings with that person? Because that will also bring that person back into your reality, into your story, to help you to work that out, to help you to rewrite that script where that character is no longer necessary. So it's not, I'm not necessarily just saying leave them there, but be angry with them. You can do that. You can do anything you want to do. But just because they're in the past and you're still harboring some, ill feelings, or you're still angry or resentful or bitter or jealous or whatever it is, with that person, that is still there. So somehow that, that is still, the relationship is still existing on a different level. So in that case, yes, if you do feel like calling that person, then it's probably happening so that you can, clear your situations. Now, one experience that I had many many years ago, when I started diving in to the journey back in like the early 90s, 92, 93. I had gone for a long time, I think maybe 10 years, without family, without my family, just my kids and my husband, my then husband. And so I had gone through, as many of you know, this in just horrific experience, this an incredible at the same time, um, schooling through this marriage, through this situation. And then I know it was time to shift away from that. So I shifted away from that. Now I'm on my own. Now I'm on my own with two kids, and now I'm diving in, and I am now discovering an understanding of the backdrop of all of this, which is what's led me here today. But I'm in deep discovery, and I get to that place of discovery where I just felt like I felt so free, and I felt so, this need to then contact uh, some of my family members and say to them, if there's anything that I have ever done to anger you, to just to upset you, anything that I've ever done that really caused you to feel pain or whatever it is, I am truly sorry. And I so needed to do that for me. It wasn't for them. It wasn't for me trying to get forgiveness from them. It had nothing to do with that. I was going through a cleansing, and I needed to release any and everything that was going to be an anchor to my evolution. I did not want anything to anchor me down. And so I just wanted to be free. I wanted to be free in here. I didn't want to even be angry with my ex-husband. I didn't want to be angry with anybody because I started to realize the weight of that. I started to recognize that that was gravity itself holding, that would hold you down. It's not, we're held down by gravity, not for the reasons that we think. It's very different reasons why we seem to be so stuck here and we can't move. But anyway, for at that time, that's what I realized is the frequency of that, the vibration of anything that I could be harboring. And I did that, um and it so for me shifted so much. And I was totally fine with, however they took it. If they accepted it, fine. If they didn't, but I needed to cleanse myself. Well, that turned out to be such an incredible experience that my family ultimately, because they didn't live in California, ultimately it just lifted everything, whatever there was between us, and they eventually then moved to California. But we ended up having such a beautiful relationship, and I was then able to begin to share what was happening to me, this evolution, which helped to really bring them out here because now everybody wanted to hear all about it, and we were just now part of this incredible energy of evolution. So I wanted to share that because in that context, um, certainly that is to be embraced. Do you force that? No. But one of the things you realize, or what I realized, is that there was nothing for me to worry about, forgiving anyone, because it's always going to be about me. I don't need to say, oh my God, I forgive you. Or I don't need somebody saying the reverse in terms of me as well. I realized that it's me. What's going on for me? What is the story? What have they gifted me with? And whatever the experiences are, and that's why in my book, in the holographic canvas, for those of you who've have it or have read it, you'll see in the front of it that I thanked everybody who made my life seemed like it was miserable. Everybody who helped me to go through the feeling of, all my deficiencies, emotional deficiencies, betrayal, it all just unfolded. And I truly, when I wrote that, there was an incredible joy. I think I cried. I had tears just thinking about the journey from the perspective of all the gifts that I received in discovering myself and moving me forward, where I'm talking to you about these things today, because I recognize that when those experiences happened, um, it caused me to take certain actions. I was forced to dig in more and to understand the course of my life, and the idea of reality, and to understand things from such an incredibly um, profound space. And it continues to become, more and more um, profoundly interesting and exciting and adventurous. So from that level, it's very, very different. So you end up not spending time um thinking about, well, what this person did to you, or what they should have done, or what you did for that person, and this is what you got. All of that completely goes away. It goes away because you realize there is no need for it. What you had was an experience, and the gift from that, what did you get from it? I was so thankful for there was a particular betrayal in that I experienced, and betrayal is probably one of the most daggering experiences. I remember that because it cut through you like a knife. And it was many years later, though, that I was truly able to be so incredibly appreciative of that betrayal. I was ever so grateful. I think if that betrayal had not happened, I would not, well, eventually maybe I would have finished the holographic canvas. Um, but it sort of moved me out of this space that I was in that would have gone on for a while, and moved me into a completely different space where now I was ready to do these other things, to finish the book, to have this conversation with you, which is not something I'd even thought of. I had no clue that any of this would have unfolded this way. So I didn't set out to try to make things happen. Like I'm gonna write this book and people are gonna like it. I'm gonna do all of this stuff. I really didn't set out to do that. It all happened that way because it's all part of my growth. It's all part of my evolution. Although I'm grateful when I get all these incredible emails saying how thankful people are. I also want to thank you because you are part of my growth. You are assisting me in expanding into greater levels of awareness, greater levels of consciousness, and that is allowing all kinds of shifts to happen in me. So I just wanted to say that. Anyway, so yeah, so that all goes back to the idea of people from your past. So just think about it, just process that, in terms of when you decide to do that. Now, if people find me from my past, I know that there is something to it. There is a reason. I'm open to that, to seeing that. I'm open to seeing what is coming of that. And so I don't have a challenge with that at all. So just look at all of this. Look at the story. Look at your current story, and it will say so much. And the people that are in your past, but you still have some things, some baggage with them, you might want to look at that for yourself too and see again, it was an experience. Just break it down to that. It was just an experience. What has it taken from me at this point? You have to examine that. We're hurt, our feelings are hurt. But what is that? Assess that. You are still here, you're still breathing. And so there is growth that will come from it and has come from it, but you have to allow yourself to see that evolution. Anyway, I want to remind you about the 5-minute daily reboots that I do have, and you can subscribe to that. I actually changed my website address, even though you can get to it from thespiritinformed.com, but I changed it to therealsoniabarrett.com. And that was funny because my son, he said, why don't you use your name? I said, well, I haven't been able to because there's another Sonia Barrett that she took the name and she has a photography studio. So he goes, well, why? You should just make it the real Sonia Barrett. So that I go, okay, therealsoniabarrett.com. So you can go there and you can subscribe to the 5-minute daily reboots, and those are very interesting, very engaging. And what else is there? Oh, the meditation workshop in May. Do check that out. Um, Down the rabbit wormhole. So it's a meditation workshop. It's going to be a webinar, so no matter where you are, you can participate. So do check that out on the website, therealsoniabarrett.com or spiritinformed.com. And what else? Oh, well, the Joshua Tree Retreat, I think that's pretty much um, filled up now. You'll still see it on the website. And anything else? And if you have not yet read A Journey of Possibilities, you do want to check out that book, A Journey of Possibilities. That's also on my website. And I'm sure there's something else, but whatever it is, it's on my website. You can always find it there. Oh, and New York. I am going to be in New York again in June, so that's also on the website, and check that out. So I think that's it. Have an incredible adventure. Continue to do that, and just remember, everything that we deal with, it's just an experience. All right. Until next time, see ya.